All right. So we are starting up here. This is going to be a pilot reading of Dexter.
Shit, I only got to page 54.
Are we recording yet?
We are recording, yes.
We
Okay.
are.
Now, are there going to be talent scouts out watching this? Like,
How
will I
are
get
you recording?
discovered?
Is that why?
You never know. That is the
I
hope.
hope so.
Yeah, a star can be born in this group now, so
Exactly.
act right.
That's what I'm going for.
I
All
should have
right.
fixed my hair. I have no makeup.
Well, let's get started.
Okay.
Fade in on the full moon. Millions of glittering stars behind it. As we start pulling back off the stars, we hear the even voice of
Tonight's the night.
Fine.
And it's going to happen again and again. Just like Wu-Tang. Has to happen.
panning down, passing the moon, wonderfully bright in all its redness.
It's a nice night.
Panning further down until the moonlight illuminates the restless inner city streets of Miami, and we start moving through them, passing the neon-lit bars with enthusiastic drinkers, clueless German tourists wearing shorts, black socks, and sandals, long-legged models flirting on the boulevard, a blue-collared Cubano man sipping espresso, a few scantily clad hookers hawking johns, and a band of runaways looking for handouts.
Miami is a great town. Love the Cuban food. Pork sandwiches, my favorite. But tonight, I'm hungry for something different.
Where are we at?
A nervous middle-aged couple, clearly lost, races in and out of the pools of light cast by the city streetlights. A Honda Civic, circa late 1980s. Drives into frame, turns a corner, drives around a boulevard, approaches an intersection. The overhanging light turns red as the car stops. We push into the windshield and see a man behind the wheel of the Civic. We can't see his face. Cut to exterior Band Shell Park, Miami, Florida, night. Proud parents sit on the grass, open picnic baskets in front of them. Their eyes focused on 24 boys aged 12 to 14, wearing snappy-looking ties and jackets, singing a beautiful rendition of Bach Magnificat. With a flourish, the tuxedoed choir master, 40s, handsome, all-American-looking, with a scrubbed, clean face, guides the boys to the stunning crescendo. The crowd stands, erupts with applause. The boys smile. The choir master turns, bows to the audience, more applause, then rises, blows kisses to his perky little wife and their 2 young daughters standing in the front row. Freeze frame on the choir master.
There he is.
That part. Did we see that part?
Yes.
Mike Donovan. He's the one.
Back to the scene. The kids all walk off the stage, join their happy parents on the lawn. The choir master joins his wife, bends down, gives her a kiss, and hugs his 2 sweet little girls. Everyone starts packing up their picnic baskets. Cut to exterior street bordering the park, Miami, Florida, later. The choir master walks his wife and daughters to a Buick sedan, helps them get in, buckles up the kids, and waves as the car drives off. He turns, walks up the street, passes the Civic, but the man sitting behind the wheel is no longer there. New angle, the choir master comes closer to a Ford Taurus station wagon, and stops right before us, so close we can almost touch him. He fumbles in his pockets for his keys, and after a beat, the key finally enters the lock. The station wagon door opens, and as the choir master slides behind the wheel, suddenly, a man, he pops up from the back seat, quicker than a jack-in-the-box, and with incredible quickness, whips a fishing line around the choir master's neck, pulls it very tight. The choir master's eyes go wide, and his face turns white. The man behind him turns towards the camera, and we finally see Dexter's face. 30s, good-looking with carefully constructed features, eyes that are full of life. Freeze frame on his face.
My name is Dexter. Dexter Morgan. And I'm going to kill this man tonight.
Back to scene. Dexter turns back to Donovan, leans in close to his ear, and whispers menacingly.
I swear to that.
Henley,
You're mine now.
shut up.
So do exactly as I say.
And Dexter pulls his fishing line tighter, cutting into Donovan's skin.
I want you to be quiet. Be good, and maybe I'll let you live a little longer. Now drive.
And
Bitch.
Donovan pulls out of the spot. Cut to exterior dirt road, outskirts of Miami, Florida, later. The station wagon drives down a dirt road flanked by swampland. It doesn't look good. You can see it in Donovan's eyes.
Turn here.
Donovan turns the wheel and the car rumbles towards exterior, an old house, outskirts of Miami, Florida, same. The car stops in front of a ramshackle home, clearly hasn't been lived in for years. To the side of the house is a small yard where there are 3 mounds of dirt piled high. The car stops. Donovan stares at the mounds, then snaps his eyes shut. Dexter releases the noose.
Get out.
Donovan stumbles out of the car, falls to the ground, and starts to whimper.
You have to listen and do what I say. You should know that. It's important.
After a beat, Donovan slowly gets up and the two of them stare at each other. There's a weird understanding between the two. Dexter smiles, says softly,
In the house, motherfucker.
Dexter whips the fishing line back around Donovan's neck and they both walk out the front door and enter. Interior, the old house, outskirts of Miami, Florida, same. Dexter kicks the door closed, quickly flips on a flood lamp, lights up the room, and leans into Donovan's ear, whispers.
Look.
Donovan is too scared, tries to turn his head away.
Oh, yes.
But Dexter twists the noose tighter, and Donovan's screams are cut off.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Donovan slams his eyes shut even tighter.
Please.
Dexter grabs the back of Donovan's neck, spins him around, and slams his face into a wall, then grabs his hair and pulls Donovan's head back.
Open your eyes and look what you did. Look or I'll cut your eyelids right off your face.
Donovan's eyes pop open, and we finally see 3 small bodies. 3 little dead boys laid out on plastic sheets and spread out in a semicircle before them.
It took me a long time to get all these little boys clean. One of them had been in the ground so long he was falling apart. Pulled him out, bits and pieces.
No.
And then, in a deeply heartfelt voice, Donovan starts mumbling in a mantra-like way.
Grace,
Stop! That never helped anyone.
Please.
It's time for the truth.
Please. You can have anything.
That's good. Beg. Did these little boys beg when you killed them?
Yes.
Donovan screams, and Dexter lets go. Donovan falls forward and lands on his face, sobbing, sniveling.
I couldn't help myself. I just couldn't. Please. You have to understand.
Dexter looks down at him.
Trust me. I definitely understand.
Then Dexter grabs him, lifts him up, and stares directly into his eyes.
See, I can't help myself either. But children, I could never do that. Not like you. Never. Ever, kids.
Why?
I have standards.
And then in a flash, Dexter pulls a syringe out of his pocket, plunges the needle deep into Donovan's neck. His eyes instantly roll up and into the back of his head. And when we see nothing but white, he collapses onto the floor. Dexter leans down, picks him up by the collar, and drags him up the stairs. Cut to interior, 2nd floor, old house, outskirts Miami, later. Floodlights illuminate the clean, white, freshly painted room. The windows are sealed with thick plastic sheets, and on the table in the middle of the room, Donovan lies naked, but his arms and legs are strapped down with
Wait,
the...
hold on.
Megan, this is where you stop him.
I am a
need
method
real life
actor.
I know.
interpretations.
His eyes wide open and his mouth is stuffed with thick wads of white gauze. Placed strategically around the room are boxes lined with white garbage bags, and on a smaller table next to the choir master are bottles of chemicals, small saws, drills, scalpels, and knives of every size and shape. It's an unseemly display of gleaming, metallic, sterile utensils. Dexter, now wearing a clean set of pressed surgical blues and a pair of surgical gloves, looks down at Donovan.
Soon you'll be packed into a few neatly wrapped hefties, and my own small corner of the world will be a neater, happier place. A better place.
Dexter lifts a very sharp scalpel and an eyedropper off of the table, leans over Donovan, and with the scalpel, makes a small, precise little incision on the man's forehead. Blood trickles out, and using the eyedropper, Dexter very carefully sucks a few droplets of blood up and onto the tube of glass.
Blood. Sometimes it sets my teeth on edge.
When he sees the blood, Dexter clearly gets excited. But after a beat, he controls himself, then very carefully squeezes the rubber top of the eyedropper over a glass slide, and a few teardrops of blood gently spatter onto the slide. Then he presses a second piece of glass over it, seals the 2 slides together. Freeze on the blood slide.
Other times, it helps me control the chaos.
Back to scene. Dexter slides the glass side into his shirt pocket, smiles, then grabs a small surgical saw off of the table. We hear the whirl of its motor running, and as Dexter slowly brings the saw down towards Donovan's crotch, we fade to black. Exterior, Boston Whaler, Canals, Miami, Florida,
Or now
4:30.
he's going to change to be something else.
Dexter stands behind the wheel of his little whaler, puttering past the early morning fishing boats, a huge smile on his face. Dexter eyes a leather-skinned fisherman standing on his commercial fishing boat and waves to him.
Ahoy! Ahoy there, Captain. Any big marlin out there today?
The fisherman smiles, waves back, and Dexter smiles wide as he navigates his boat out of the bay.
Whatever made me the way I am left me hollow, empty inside. People fake a lot of human interactions, but I fake it all. And I fake it very well.
A couple of speedboats cross dangerously in front of him.
And that's my plight. I care about people as much as I care about lawn furniture, but I can't blame my foster parents for that. Harry and Doris Morgan did a wonderful job raising me, but they're both dead now. I didn't kill them. Honest.
And just then, a testosterone-injected cigarette boat cuts
Where am
across
I?
his bow, causing a large wave to splash over Dexter's deck, and we flash back to Exterior Campground, Central Florida, late afternoon. It's a beautiful, warm Sunday afternoon in the bucolic woods overlooking a small, lazy river. Harry, 50s, Dexter's foster father, a diamond in the rough, tough exterior but soft at heart, pulls a flask out of his pants pocket, slowly unscrews the top, downs a slug of booze, then slips the flask back into his pants. Young Dexter, 12, watches his father very carefully, then picks up a small bottle of milk, unscrews the top, takes a sip, screws the top back on, then tries to slip it into his pants, just like his father, but it doesn't fit, so he sets it aside. Harry stares into nothingness, then turns to his adopted son and says very softly, simply,
You're different, aren't you, Dexter?
Dexter swallows hard, looks nervously at his dad.
What do you mean, Pops?
The Billups say Buddy disappeared.
Little Dexter turns away.
I found the grave, son.
That dog was a noisy little creep, Pop. He was barking all night, and Mom couldn't sleep, and she's very, very sick. And that lousy dog was yapping every leaf that blew down the sidewalk.
Harry looks at Dexter.
There are a lot of bones in there, Dexter, and not just buddies.
Little Dexter fidgets.
How long have you been doing this, son?
Dexter looks away, then looks back into his father's eyes.
About a year and a half.
You mad?
Are you mad?
Harry stares at little Dexter, then slowly drapes his arms around his son and pulls him close. As they stare into the river water, we're suddenly back on Dexter. As his boat disappears into the morning fog, we see the back of the whaler, and it's named The Slice of Life. Cut to interior Dexter's apartment, Coconut Grove, Florida, dawn. Dexter walks into his apartment and closes the door behind him. It appears more like a library than a home. Bookshelves are everywhere, and all the books are categorized, alphabetized, and lined up perfectly. Dexter walks past a stack of files, all labeled Missing Persons, property of Miami PD, heads to the air conditioning stuck to the window, turns it up even colder. In the middle of the room is a large desk with a computer and the book Gray's Anatomy on top. Dexter whips out a large set of keys, unlocks the bottom desk drawer, pulls out a long rectangular wooden box, sets it on his desk, lifts off the lid, and from his shirt pocket, pulls out a slide of blood that we saw him extract from Donovan. Dexter stares at it for a beat. Then,
At least the code of Harry, my wonderful father, is satisfied. And so am I.
he files it amongst the many other slides inside the box, slams the drawer shut, locks it, then picks up a Miami Police Department folder entitled Jaworski.
He was a great cop here in Miami. Taught me how to think like one. Even though I'm not. Taught me how to cover my tracks. I am a very neat monster.
As he puts the folder down, he notices his answering machine is blinking. Dexter eyes it, presses the button, and we hear,
Dexter! Dexter! You there? Answer the fucking phone.
smash cut to exterior parking lot, La Mamacita Hotel, Miami, Florida, same. And we see Deborah,
La
20.
Mamacita.
Yep. Dexter's outstanding-looking foster sister, dressed as a classic cheap whore, her shapely body shrink-wrapped tight in a pink neon tube top, miniskirt, fishnet stockings, and high heels, talking urgently into her cell phone.
Okay, Dex, please. soon as you get in. I'm at a crime scene by the shithole, the Mamacita Motel, and I need your hero right away. Okay, Dex? Please. Pretty fucking please with cheese on top.
She slaps her cell phone closed and we cut back to Dexter, smiling.
That's my marvelous, foul-mouthed foster sister, Deborah.
Cut to interior bathroom, Dexter's apartment, Coconut Grove, Florida. Later. Dexter takes a very hot shower, lathers up all over, scrubs his face hard, then kneads the shampoo deep into his scalp and enjoys the whole experience a great deal.
She's the only person in the world who cares if I'm alive or dead. She loves me. Why, I don't know. I'm unlovable. I have no feelings about anything.
Cut to interior bedroom, Dexter's apartment. Later. Dexter quickly gets dressed, slips on a snappy-looking bowling shirt, khakis, all light and airy. He's good to go.
But if I could have feelings at all, I'd have them for Deb.
Cut to exterior parking lot, La Mamacita Motel, Miami, Florida. Later. Dexter gets out of his air-conditioned Civic, is momentarily stunned by the brutally hot morning sun. He heads towards a crowd of polyester-wearing retirees, hand-me-down-wearing Cubano refugees, and bikini-wearing tourists, standing behind the yellow police tape, cordoning off this dingy, low-life hellhole of a motel, advertising hourly rates. Right now, the rooms are empty and the parking lot is full of cop cars, ambulances, and medical examiner vans.
There's something strange and disarming about looking at a homicide scene in the bright daylight of the Miami sun. It makes the most grotesque killings look like antiseptic, staged, like you're in a new and daring section of Disney World. Dahmerland.
Dexter scoots under the yellow tape when suddenly a very intimidating-looking uniformed cop blocks his path.
You better be a cop.
Dexter flashes his official Miami-Dade Forensics Department ID.
No, forensics.
The cop eyes the badge, then waves him in. Dexter walks past him, then sees amongst the other cops hanging around Deborah, still looking like a cheap whore, running up to him.
Geez, Deb, where the hell do you keep your gun?
Cut the crap. They found another hooker. At least they think it's a hooker.
Why?
Hard to tell from what's left. That's the third in the last 5 months.
Third? You mean there's...
Hell yeah, we got a serial killer, bro. The other two were up in Broward County, chopped up in bits and pieces too, and they say there's no connection. Any drilling moron could see these kills are connected, but that bitch.
What bitch?
Me.
That thin hip dope, Lieutenant LaGuardia. Look at her.
Dexter turns and sees Lieutenant Maria LaGuardia, 30s, the definitively thin-hipped but intensely sexy Cuban-born head of Miami-Dade homicide, talking rapid fire in a clearly nervous Cuban porter.
She's the lead on the case. How the hell does that happen?
She's a born politician. Kiss enough ass, you get that post. Maybe you should try it sometime.
Blow me. She's convinced there's a witness, and I want in on this case. It's my beat, but instead of using me, she's got some detectives I'd never met interviewing my whores who, trust me, are not going to talk to those dudes. What an idiot. Idiot. Idiot.
LaGuardia catches Dexter's eye in the middle of her rapid-paced conversation with the Cuban porter, smiles at Dexter, then her eyes quickly scan the crowd, the crime scene.
Uh-oh. There's that frown and those darting eyes. Perhaps she's hoping a clue will leap out of nowhere and she can shoot it.
Dex! Jesus, where the hell did you go?
Dexter turns, smiles at Deb.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to get the hell out of this sex suit and get into the homicide division. That's what I want to do. But that ass-kissing puta is going to stick her bony ass in the way. Shit, why does she have to hate my goddamn guts?
Because you hate hers?
Look, I don't need you to reiterate the fucking obvious, okay? Now are you going to help me?
I'll do anything for you, but...
Don't be fucking dense on me now. You know what I need, Dex. You have these things, these hunches. You know with these types of murders.
Just sometimes, Deb. All right, let me take a look. And in the meantime, avoid LaGuardia and talk to Captain Matthews and ask him to put you on the case. But keep the sex suit on. It'll help your cause.
Why do I love you?
And with that, she takes off. Dexter smiles. Cut to exterior, down the alley, Miami, Florida. Same. Dexter walks down the alley and sees Vince Masuka, 30s, slight, half Japanese, half white, sporting a slicked back Don Ho haircut, meticulously brushing for fingerprints around the exterior
Oh,
of a large green dumpster, while Angel Batista, 30s, the corpulent, chain-smoking Miami-Dade medical examiner, leans into the dumpster and very carefully plucks out body parts which are individually wrapped up with white butcher's paper and neatly tucked in twine. Batista's last grab is clearly a foot, and Angel sets it down amongst a lot of other body parts, legs, hands, individual fingers, on a blue plastic tarp. And like a puzzle, we're beginning to see the complete human figure laid out. It's gruesome, but still, there's something almost intriguingly artistic about it. Masuka looks up, wipes the sweat off his brow, sees Dex, and smiles with a big fake smile. Freeze on Masuka's face. Zach?
something's wrong with this guy, Mazuka.
Yay.
Where's he at?
It's up there.
Oh, okay.
Tell Zach.
It's like he learned how to smile from these models in the Sears catalog.
Back to the scene.
Nice haircut, Mazuka.
Saw your sister. Damn. Looking hot.
She should. It's hot as hell out here.
So what brings you out here?
Come to see how the real experts operate.
Masuka flashes that fake smile again, then starts laughing, his whole body convulsing in great heaves and gasps. Almost sounds like he's drowning. Dexter stares at him in amazement. Then,
In that laugh, do I perform CPR or the Heimlich?
Masuka finally stops laughing.
Seriously though, why are you here?
It's a crime scene, man.
Yeah, but you do blood splatter.
So?
There's no blood here.
Dexter stares at him, then suddenly feels lightheaded, takes a step back. Something has happened. His world is clearly rocked. Finally, he recoups, focuses back on Masuka.
What was that?
There's no blood in, on, or near the body at all. The weirdest thing you ever saw.
Pushing on Dexter's horror-stricken face.
No blood? No sticky, hot, messy, awful blood? No blood at all? Why hadn't I thought of that? No blood! What a gorgeous idea!
Dexter quickly spins around to Angel, then
Oh,
whips out
Masuka.
his surgical gloves, snaps them on, leans down next to him,
There's
quickly unwrapping a hand with his scalpel.
How does he do it? How does the killer get rid of the blood?
Hard to say. The body's in good shape, and she was muy bonita. She had a big ass, too. Her head's over there. Take a look. Dexter ignores that, leans in, and inspects the exposed hand.
This is unique.
Oh my god.
No shit. And no prints either.
Angel picks up until he finally reveals the tip of an ankle and a small tattoo of a butterfly still on the skin.
This guy's good. Good as I could do.
Oh,
I've
it's
never
really
seen
good. But
such
we're still
clean
on
and
film.
dry, neat-looking dead flesh. Wonderful.
Dexter looks at Angel.
Very clean.
Yeah, but he didn't finish. No terminado.
Looks pretty completado to me, Angel.
No, look, he cut the leg into 4 pieces, almost like he's using a ruler. But this leg is only cut in 2 pieces. And here, it looks like he started to make a 3rd cut, but stopped. It's possible he got interrupted.
Buddy.
That's why LaGuardia is looking for a witness, working on that motel porter back there. God help
Dexter looks at them both.
No blood. I can't think. I gotta get out of here.
Dexter rises, takes one last look at the marvelous bloodless body parts laid out in the tarp, then without saying anything, turns and walks away from Masuka and Angel. Dex, donde vas? Where are you going? But Dexter keeps walking and heads out of the alley and disappears behind a group of cops standing behind squad cars. Cut to exterior parking lot, La Mamacita Motel, Miami, Florida. Same. Dexter keeps walking, passes LaGuardia, who winks at him.
I wish he'd stop that. It's one of those mating rituals which I don't really understand.
He suddenly finds himself crowded in by a group of reporters, pushing their microphones and cameras into the face of Captain Matthews, 50s, slick and manicured, $300 shoes, $500 suit, and $1 million.
I have the utmost faith in this department. And with Lieutenant LaGuardia leading,
Captain Matthews, Captain, we understand there are similar killings in Broward. Are we talking about a serial killer?
there's no evidence to suggest.
Then it's the work of a lone psychopath?
Listen, we live in Miami, so I guess the chances are good.
And as Dexter looks back at the crime scene, we hear,
Bloodless body. This guy may have exceeded his own abilities.
cut to exterior Miami Beach Tennis Club later. Dexter pulls into the white picket fenced parking lot filled with the top of the line BMWs, Mercedes, finds a spot. Dexter has a clear, unobstructed view of the main entrance of the club and sees a steady stream of beautiful, tight-bodied, bronze-skinned, middle-aged ladies in their cute little tennis outfits walking in and out of the club. Dexter turns and sees Jamie Jaworski, 30s, a short, stocky, pleasant enough-looking man whose large brown eyes might be a little too close together, wearing a traditional janitorial outfit, a small broom and shovel in his tattooed hand. Freeze on Jaworski.
This guy likes hanging around the wives of the rich and famous. Works the country club, cleaning lockers, painting picket fences.
Back to scene. Jaworski sweeps up a little dirt, some leaves, all while eyeing the pretty ladies.
6 months ago, I think he fell in love with a pretty brunette, Mrs. Jane Saunders.
Dexter opens up a Miami PD missing persons file, pulls out a picture of Jane Saunders. She's a very beautiful brunette.
A sweet mother of two, married to Harry Saunders, a successful banker. They all lived a pleasant life in an overgrown modern house until she unfortunately dis-a-fucking-peared.
Flash 2. Exterior, nice house. Upscale neighborhood, Miami, Florida. Day. The distraught, handcuffed husband is led out by the cops. His two kids, 10 and 12, surrounded by social workers, sob. Off to the side, we see a younger-looking LaGuerta proudly talking to the press.
The cops arrested the husband for murder. They never convicted him, but all wasn't lost because they still managed to destroy his life and leave his kids emotionally deficient forever. But I know he was no killer.
Back to the scene. One of the ladies drops her tennis bag, bends over, and Jaworski freezes, stares at the pantalooned bottom.
My favorite janitor was a suspect for a while, but the cops could never make anything stick.
After a beat, Jaworski skulks away and disappears into the shed off to the side. Cut to Interior Police Headquarters, Miami, Florida. Later. Dexter, carrying a box of donuts, walks down a high-tech, brushed metal walls and glass-enclosed office cubicles, passing off uniformed cops, weaving in and out of a bunch of casually dressed police department administrators, and then comes up to two veteran detectives.
Hey, Dex.
They stop, dig into the box, each grab a cream-filled donut.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Susan. How are the families?
Good. You?
Dexter nods, smiles.
See you at the next bloodbath?
Never miss a party.
The detectives laugh, mumble thanks, and keep walking. Dexter watches them disappear down the hall. Then we freeze on all the different people in the hallway.
Salt of the earth, these people, and they try really hard. But with the solve rate for murders about 20%, Miami is a great place for me to play. A great place for me to hone my craft. Viva Miami. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Viva Miami.
Oh, like from Will Smith.
Hey.
I'm a meat. I'm a yummy.
There you go. Back to scene. Dexter turns down another hallway, then hears.
Dax!
He turns around, sees Deb smiling, dressed in plain clothes, and running towards him.
Oh, okay.
I like your other outfit better.
Deb reaches into his box of donuts and grabs a powdered one.
You're a sick bastard. But guess what? The sex suit worked, and the captain put me on the case. Huerta wasn't happy, but she needs to get laid.
Yes. So, congrats.
Got any ideas yet?
Nope.
We'll start doing your mental autopsy because I need your theories, and thanks for the fucking donut. It sucked. Gotta go.
And with that, she's gone. Dexter smiles, turns around, and heads down another hallway. Cut to interior records room, and we see Camilla, late 60s, sitting at her desk, reading the paper, stirring her Sanka.
Donut.
She's frail and thin, too thin, almost like moth-eaten from the wear and tear of being the sole gatekeeper of the police department's Office of Records for the past 20 years. She's a tough, intuitive woman who appreciates the donuts Dexter gives her, but more importantly, loves the attention he pays her. Behind her, there are endless rows of ceiling-high metal shelves packed with records and files. She looks up, smiles wide, then eyes Dexter suspiciously.
Keeping your fingernails clean?
Never leave home without my rubber gloves.
And Camilla dives in, grabs a few crullers.
Good boy.
Anything new?
And she hands him a fat file, labeled Jaworski.
Why do you keep coming in here for this stuff?
I told you before, and don't tell anyone, but blood spatter isn't really a full-time job. Anyway, it's like a hobby. Maybe I can help out. Fills my nights.
You have a morbid sense of fun.
That's probably true.
You should find a pretty girl.
I found you.
Charming like your father, just don't get me fired.
Then who would I bring donuts to?
Cut to interior lab, police headquarters. Same. Dexter, light-footed as ever, walks through the large glass-enclosed lab, passing the analytical, forensic, and serology sections, all packed with scientists and analysts in white coats, hovering over microscopes, computers, and other high-tech machines. He reaches his box of donuts, grabs the last one, stares into the empty box.
Just like me, clean, crisp outside, and nothing at all inside.
Dexter dumps the box into the garbage can, passes Masuka cataloging prints, heads to the back of the room, and enters a small little glass-enclosed office. Interior, Dexter's office, police headquarters, same, where he's immediately confronted by Sergeant Dokes, 30s, a large imposing black man whose cold, frosty eyes are framed by a face fixed into a permanent look of hostility, especially when he's around Dexter.
Where the hell you been?
Crime scene?
Dokes stares at him and then looks around the office. Eyes the poster of Miami's Matador hockey team taped to one of the glass walls. But the other walls are plastered with images of blood-stained walls, floors, and carpets. Looks almost like a Jackson Pollock exhibit.
What about these?
Dokes shrugs two oversized color photos of a couple of bodies lying dead on the carpeted floor of a large hotel room onto Dexter's hands.
The hotel cokehead murders? This dealer and the girl?
Dexter scans them, eyes the blood spatter on the walls.
This Hallmark-looking couple didn't die by the hands of a professional killer. Nope. This is child's play. Messy work. All that blood on the walls. Looks like finger painting.
You're giving me the fucking creeps. You know that, Dexter?
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.
Fuck you.
Okay. Is there something I can...
Yeah, you can give me your fucking analysis of the blood spatter on these killings. You think I'm here to invite you my nephew's Brick?
I didn't know you were Jewish.
Shut the fuck up and just write your report already. Oh, sorry, I'm still gone. Next page.
Line.
Don't even know what I need you. So grab a crayon, psycho, and scribble this down. Rival dealer came in, two scumbags slashed to hell, dealer stole the drugs. Wham bam. Done it, I don't give a shit what you say. Because that's what happened, and that's who you're looking for. We're looking for a motherfucking thief dealer. Got it?
Okay, sure, I guess, but I need to get back.
Then get back there already, you fucking weirdo. I need it quick.
I'm on it, Sergeant.
And Dokes storms out of the office.
Dokes is my favorite character of all of Dexter. Give me the creeps, motherfucker. All right, carry on.
I think we're waiting on
Only
you.
You're waiting
question
on
is
you,
why in the building full of cops.
Flash to a montage of different detectives interrogating a series of tough, defiant perps.
All supposedly with a clean insight into human soul, is Dokes the only one that gets the creeps from me.
Cut to interior Ocean View Hotel Suite, Miami, Florida, later. The sliding doors in the balcony are open and hot gusts of wind whip the curtains around. And in the middle of the suite are a couple of what looks like tall microphone stands and, emanating from the
It's a
top
long
of
time for you,
a
dog.
series of individual strings stretched across the room and pinned to the blood spatter on the opposite wall and curtains. On the far right of the room, the wall is almost entirely covered with one big dripping splotch of blood. The left side of the room is very different. The wall is covered with 1,000 of seemingly random little dots of blood, like a Piscaro painting, where you step back and away, and all these abstract dots suddenly form a beautiful series of descending arcs like rainbows of blood.
Oh, no.
Dexter pins yet another string of a tiny splat of blood on the wall,
idea.
completing a complex maze of strings, a massive cat's cradle hanging across the room. Dexter backs away from the wall, stands next to the young, buff, uniformed cop. Dexter admires his work. So what are you going to do? Catch this guy in the big fucking spider's web you're making?
Just look for patterns.
I thought they brought them out in chunks.
And lots of little pieces, too.
So this coat dealer and his girl, the killer used a sword?
Nope. Probably a very sharp knife. Look at the blood spatter. Look at the patterns. Tells a story. See this big pond of blood right there?
And he steps to the large blot on the right side of the wall.
That was from the initial slice. The male victim was standing right here. And the killer's knife swooped across, slashed his throat. See? Notice the long, thick, heavy drips here and here?
Yeah, nice. And Dexter points out the arcs of blood on the left side.
Now over here are nice, clean sprays
Not
of blood.
really.
And there's a rhythm to that. And that can only happen when you're holding something light, moving quick,
Coffee.
nice, sharp slices through the body.
Yeah, I had a cup of coffee.
No slashes, no drips.
I don't know why. Wasn't that good?
Clean and easy. Graceful cuts, like skipping pebbles across a lake. This guy knew how to use a blade.
So we're looking for a sushi chef? Freeze on the cop.
Oh, God. No wonder Miami suffers from a pitiful 20% solve rate.
Back to the scene. Dexter stares at the cop, then very tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah, sushi chef is possible. Wouldn't be my first choice, but hey, you never know.
Dexter walks around the room, picks up his camera, focuses on the cat's cradle. Flash, flash. Now what? Dexter looks at the cop.
Now I eat.
Cut to interior, exterior, Dexter's Civic streets, Miami later. Dexter drives down a squalid residential street surrounded by low-income housing, barbecue joints, and crumbling Catholic churches. Gang-looking kids hang out in front of bodegas, drinking and smoking, their boomboxes blasting. Eating a juicy pork Cuban sandwich, Dexter pulls into a parking spot, then puts the sandwich down.
Problem with eating and driving, which I love to do, is not being able to employ the 10-2 hand position on the wheel. It's a matter of public safety.
He picks up the new Jaworski file Camilla gave him.
But there's always a sacrifice.
Dexter scans a few pages of the Jaworski file.
Looks like Jaworski's been busy.
He turns his head, looks across the street, and focuses on a small, shitty-looking house with a rusty chain-link fence blocking the side alley running along the house.
Recently picked up for a Peeping Tom episode and Flash to Poor Soccer Mom. Time to take a little tour.
Cut to interior Jaworski's house, Miami, Florida day. And as soon as Dexter steps inside the front door, we hear the loud, vicious barks of a massive dog, and Dexter freezes. He then sees that massive mangy dog out in the backyard banging against the glass sliding door, trying to get inside the house.
Animals don't like me, especially dogs.
And that monster dog spins around, bangs into the glass door again, desperately wanting to take a bite out of Dexter.
I don't think they approve of what I sometimes do to their masters. And that dog recognizes me as easily as I can recognize Jaworski or any other killer.
Dexter calms down, looks around the house. It's small and messy, but above all, sorted. There's a paper towel holder next to an unmade bed. In the middle of the room is a desk with a computer on it and an expensive-looking digital video camera. Dexter picks it up, eyeing it curiously. He then notices a stack of S&M porn magazines, picks up one, flips through it, stops on the classifieds and reads a few. Some have been highlighted.
Interesting taste in literature. His needs are evolving, turning violent. He's on the fast track.
And as Dexter walks out of the house, closing the door behind him, we hear,
Alex.
He did it. I don't know where they were at.
middle of
Page
it,
31.
Page 31, mid-page, Harry says, "It's okay, son."
Come on.
She's over here messing with Toby. I don't know. Okay, did you say anything yet, young Dexter?
Nope.
Nope, we're still waiting on your line.
Oh, shit. Now I got to go the other direction.
Yeah, as Dexter walks out of the house, closing the door behind him, we hear,
That ain't it.
31.
Jesus.
As Dexter walks out.
Now I got to get down. Wait a sec. I got it.
Well, I kind of know.
My arrow.
I kind of, feel like.
Alex, go for it.
Yes, where am I at?
That same line of, it's okay, son, go on.
It's up above.
Taking the scene from the top. Logan, you're the director here.
That's what I'm trying to do, but I can't put where he is on the page because I don't know.
It's a,
Or, go for it.
Action.
it's okay, son. Go on.
Then we slowly flash back to exterior campground, Central Florida, late afternoon. Harry still has his arm draped over little Dexter's shoulders, looks down at his son.
Well, I kind of, I feel something like inside, like watching me.
Do you hear voices?
No, it's not really a voice. It's something different.
And little Dexter looks away.
And this something, it makes you kill things?
After a beat, Dexter looks back at his father.
No, well, it doesn't really make me. It just makes it seem like a really good idea.
Have you ever wanted to kill something else? Something bigger than a dog?
Yes.
Like a person?
Yeah, but nobody in particular.
Well, why didn't you?
Dexter and Harry lock eyes for a beat. Then,
I thought you wouldn't like it, you and Mom.
That's why you didn't?
I didn't want you mad at me, angry or disappointed. Are you angry, Pop?
and as Harry locks eyes with little Dexter, we cut to exterior Ocean Avenue, South Beach evening. Dexter, looking showered and fresh and wearing another snappy new bowling shirt, carries a paper bag filled with goodies, walks down an extraordinary parade of gorgeous men and women. Roomba music blasting through restaurant speakers follow him as he goes.
Friday night, date night in Miami. Every night is date night in Miami, and everyone's having sex. But breathe easy. Breathe easy, Dex. It's okay because for me, sex never enters into it.
Dexter walks past a good-looking couple sitting at a table in an outdoor cafe, stops and does a double take. And sure enough, the guy is sipping a mojito while a pretty young girl smoking a cigarette with one hand casually and slowly massages the guy's crotch with the other.
I don't understand sex. It's not in my nature. I don't have anything against women, and I certainly have an appropriate sensibility about men, but when it comes to actual act of sex, it's just so undignified.
More sexy, young, hip women wearing micro, short, tight dresses saunter up and down the boulevard.
But I have to play the game, and after years of trying to look normal, I have finally
Dexter turns off the boulevard and heads down a residential street.
met the perfect date.
Exterior, front door of the house, same. He rings the bell. Ding dong.
And that's because she is, in her own way, as damaged as me. Been seeing her for about a year now, and just after her ex-husband.
And just then, the door swings open. Dexter smiles wide. Interior, modest house, Miami, Florida, same. The door closes. Dexter faces the blushing Rita, 30s, sweet and delicate, but vulnerable and amazingly attractive in that breezy, skimpy sundress she's wearing.
Be ready in a sec. Just have to talk to the sitter.
Okie dokie.
As she smiles,
Smokey. Deb introduced us. Sorry.
flashback to small interior, small Cuban restaurant, Miami, Florida, day. Dexter and Deb, now dressed as a uniformed cop, sit in a booth eating plates of crackling chicken.
Met a girl last week, Dex. This is the fucking best. You need a good woman. Met her on a domestic dispute call.
Flash to interior Rita's house, and we see Rita's ex-husband flipping the dining room table over, grabbing a chair, then smashing it over Rita's head. Her 2 little children cower in the corner, and as the ex-husband continues to pummel Rita, Deborah and her male partner, both dressed as uniformed cops, run into the house.
He was a fucking crack addict, a sick, abusive psycho, and I beat the living daylights out of him. But she's pretty. Once her face goes. Anyway, she's single now.
Her male partner quickly grabs the 2 kids, and Deb rips out her billy club and starts whacking and bashing the ex-husband over his head. She finally puts him into a chokehold and knocks him unconscious. Back to interior Cuban restaurant, still eating the chicken.
Promising.
Yeah, she's perfect for you. Vulnerable, low self-esteem. You know what they say about those kind of girls. Probably fuck her brains out. She needs someone to treat her nice. Want her number?
Back to the scene.
Present?
Yes, but even though you look wonderful, it's not for you.
Rita smiles, spins around, revealing her 2 children. Aster, 8, a soft-spoken sweetheart of a girl wearing soft cotton jammies, and her brother, Cody, 5, a soft-skinned, polite young boy wearing an oversized t-shirt as a nightgown.
Hey,
I'm
Dexter.
not dressed for my part. Hold on.
Dexter drops to his knees and smiles.
May I observe that you look lovely this evening?
She eyes him, drops her eyes to the floor, then says coyingly,
Okay.
And Master Cody, handsome as ever.
Dexter rises, walks to the living room, modest and simple, right out of a cheap catalog, then turns to the kids and smiles. Freeze on Aster and Cody.
I like kids. They're important and they matter to me more than their mom. But children who witness their crack addict father trying to kill their mother with a hard assembled IKEA furniture tend to be slightly withdrawn.
Back to the scene. Dexter pulls cartons of ice cream out of his bag.
Vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry.
Oh, coffee?
But which do you think melts faster?
They giggle like crazy, and just then, Rita pops back in.
Ready?
And as she smiles, we freeze on her darling face.
Deb didn't know that her ex-husband raped her.
Flashback to interior Rita's kitchen, and Dexter, carrying a box of pizza, walks into the living room and sees Rita slip on a nightgown over her pajamas, then wrap herself inside a big cotton robe, curl up on the couch, grab the remote, and turn on the TV.
And it infected her pelvic region with some horrible crack house disease. Ever since then, she's been completely uninterested in sex. Lucky for me.
Back to scene.
Oh, damn, my pocketbook.
And she runs out of the room again. Cody watches her disappear, then turns back to Dexter.
You going to the movies?
If we can find one that doesn't make us throw up.
Do you throw up a lot at the movies?
Aster.
Well, maybe he does. Maybe he has a vomit problem. Do you?
No, but maybe I should. Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
And as they laugh, Rita bounds back in, her plastic pocketbook in her hand.
Bed at 9, okay?
Will you be back?
Of course I'll be back.
I meant Dexter.
You'll be asleep.
No, I won't.
Then I'll stop in and we'll all play cards. High stakes poker?
And Cody and Aster lean into Dexter and wrap their arms around his waist, hug him tight.
Give Mommy a kiss.
Cut to exterior Joe's Stone Crab House, South Beach, Miami, later. Fidgeting, Dexter stands next to Rita while waiting in a very, very long line full of beautiful and the hip, slowly snaking its way into the famous Crab Shack.
Needless to say, I have some unusual habits. Yet all these quote-unquote socially acceptable people can't wait to pick up hammers and publicly smash their food to bits.
Flash to a montage of hammer-wielding diners maniacally smashing defenseless crustaceans into bits and pieces. And as the shells fly around the room like shrapnel from an exploding car bomb, the diners greedily pick at the meat.
Normal people are so hostile.
Back to the scene, and Dexter smiles at Rita. Cut to exterior Bayfront Park. Dexter and Rita walk through the park with the DJs and the conga and bongo players, blasting Cubano, Caribbean, and hip-hop crap. Blinding strobe and laser lights illuminate the hundreds of skimpily dressed dancing around, drinking tequila under the midnight heat.
Right over here.
It's a
If you just go
bacchanalian
here.
of human. It's a bacchanalian human flesh feast. But curiously, none of these people seem to be aware of the crime scene. Just yards away, at the edge of the park, cordoned off with yellow tape and crowded with a dozen police cars, ambulances, their red and blue lights twirling. Dexter, suddenly very interested, grabs Rita's hand tight, stops walking.
They might need me.
Don't you have a pager?
They don't always know when they need me.
And with that, he fights his way through the sweltering crowds, heads to the crime scene, and Rita falls out.
Dex?
Cut to Dexter rushing past the cops, then sees LaGuerta talking to a few eager reporters, but Dexter avoids eye contact, quickly maneuvering around some detectives and cops. Then sees Angel Batista, the ME, in the same position we saw him at the last crime scene, bent over, examining a body wrapped parts, legs, toes, arms, which are all once again neatly laid out on a blue vinyl tarp. Angel looks up. He's grim and tense. Son of a whore.
Who?
Talking about this hijo de puta, this asshole killer, this maricon savage who makes us work on a Friday night.
Yeah, Monday through Thursdays. That's what they always say, right?
Of course, but be reasonable. Who wants to work on a Friday night? So como está? What are you doing here?
Was in the neighborhood. Why? Same guy, same pattern?
Bone dry. No blood again. And Dexter suddenly feels lightheaded again, paces, recoups, then leans down next to Angel, focuses. Mira aquí, there's a small difference in the cuts this time. Very rough here, almost emotional. Then here, not so much. Here and here, in between.
Muy bien.
Yeah.
Cabrón.
Yeah, but look at this. Angel nudges the severed hand aside, taps an exposed femur. Look, all bone. The killer flayed the skin completely off. Why would he do that? Dexter takes a breath, then looks at Angel.
He's experimenting, trying to find the right way.
Is he experimenting with the head too?
What do you mean?
I mean, La Bestia took her fucking head. There isn't one around here, and God knows what he's doing with it. Dexter stares at Angel, gets up, and slowly walks away, deep in thought.
He's certainly raising the bar. Damn, this guy's good.
Nick,
Well, there
did
is
you see
that.
my,
What's
Nick,
that?
did you see my beer explode?
All right, so are you gonna talk?
Cut
What
to,
page are we on?
I found it.
we are
41.
page 41, yeah. Interior, Dexter's Civic in front of Rita's house, Miami, Florida, same.
Rita.
The Civic stops. Dexter and Rita sit in silence. Then,
Sit down, Toby.
Mary.
yeah, couldn't quite hear you over Toby.
Will they catch him soon?
Doubt it. This killer is an artist.
Neat.
But now Dexter's in his own world, and he says very softly,
His technique is incredible as I grab your thigh.
What? Hear what you're.
but before he finishes, Dexter suddenly leans over and kisses her long and hard on the mouth. She pushes him away. A look of horror crosses her face. She pats her dress down and frantically runs her hands through her hair.
I'm sorry. I don't think I want to. I mean, I'm not ready for it. Damn it, Dexter. Why?
She unbuckles her seatbelt, jerks the door handle up, jumps out of the car, slams the car door shut, and runs into her house. Back on Dexter.
What have I done now? I'm not even interested. And why can't I get that neat stack of body parts out of my head? No blood. Why did I kiss her?
And as we push back tight into Dexter's face, we cut to interior living room, Dexter's apartment. And Dexter looks grim and angry, sits at his desk, faces his computer, the large Jaworski file, just inches from his fingers. And right next to that is the same porn magazine we saw in Jaworski's apartment. Dexter pounds away on his keyboard, and as the images on the computer screen reflect off of his face, his shoulders tighten and his eyes turn cold and black.
That's it. He's definitely the one. Screaming Cream, the mother of all rape sites.
Playing on the screen is a grainy video of an attractive but struggling desperate Jane Saunders tied down to a stained mattress lying in a filthy basement floor, and humping away on top of her is short, stocky masked man with the same tattooed hands we saw on Jaworski. It's unseemly and nauseating, and then it becomes pure evil as we watch Jaworski climax, reach under the mattress, pull out a knife, and he raises it high into the air as we cut back to the furious Dexter, staring at the computer, hatred all over his face.
Now it's just a matter of time before he becomes a drop of blood in my glass slide collection. But I have to wait, because what I do requires infinite planning, and I have to be careful and follow the code of Harry.
And as Dexter pushes back from his desk, we hear,
Pretty sad.
Is that why we took this trip, Pop?
flashback to exterior
42.
campgrounds late afternoon. The sun is going down, and little Dexter is helping his father build a campfire, throws a couple of twigs into the pile.
To talk about this?
Harry gets on his knees, blows into the embers. The fire ignites, and he stands, facing Dexter.
Where?
I'm getting old, son.
Well, I don't know. We just found it just a second ago. I'm getting old, son. And I think when you get older, people understand things differently. See, it's not a question of getting soft or seeing things in shades of gray instead of black and white. I really believe it's just a matter of understanding things differently, understanding things in a better way.
I think I understand.
A beat.
10 years ago, I would have told you or would have had you committed, but now I know better. You're a good kid, Dexter.
No, Pop, I'm bad.
Shit, here we go. No, you're good. You are, Dex. I know it, and you know it, and I know it because otherwise you wouldn't care. What's so funny? What me and your mom thought. You just do it. But we're not going to be here forever, so we have to get you sorted out.
He stares into Dexter's eyes.
Pop, I'm sorry.
Come here, son.
Harry leans over, flicks the hair away from Dexter's face.
What do you remember from before? You know, before we took you in.
A beat.
This is so damn funny.
Nothing.
Good. Nobody should remember that because what happened to you as a little boy shaped you.
Will I ever remember, Pop Pop?
Oh, fuck, I went too far. I hope not. Where am I at? Shit.
Next page.
Forster, the emotional scene.
What happened to you is so strong.
Oh, thanks, son. What happened?
Are you my real dad?
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What happened was too strong. It was too much. It got into you too early, son, and it's going to stay there. And listen to me carefully now. It's going to make you want to kill, and you won't be able to stop it.
So am I going to be like this forever?
Yes, and nothing can change that. But you can channel it. You can control it. We can use it for good. I'm going to teach you how to choose what and who you kill. Teach you how to not get caught. This will be our secret, just between you and me. No one else can ever know.
Gosh, are you sure?
Well, I'm absolutely sure. And Dexter, I want you to, because there are plenty of people who deserve to get fucking killed, son. Get out there and do it.
So you're not mad at me?
No. He hadn't said what he's supposed to say yet, has he?
Yeah, he did. We're waiting on you.
Absolutely sure.
Oh, well, hell yes, son. I'm absolutely sure.
Oh, this is
That's
about
already
you. Tell
said
me
that
about
one.
me, Dad.
That's not
I
a
already
lot.
said that. I already told you I wanted you to go out there and kill the folks. So go do it. What you waiting on, son? No, I'm not mad at you, son. No, I'm not mad at you. I love you, son.
Oh,
Harry
there
smiles
it
at little
is.
Dexter. We hear.
Don't bullshit me, Dex. Give me something before they shut me out.
Smash cut to interior Wolfie's Deli, Miami Beach morning. Crowded and chaotic, Dexter and Deb sit at a booth wolfing down stacks of pancakes and eggs.
Look, we're to still convinced the killer was seen. Too scared to finish. So she still has me interviewing her first.
It's a waste of time. Think that if he was interrupted,
Jesus Christ almighty. Right. Because then how do you get the time to wrap up all the pieces? What a skinny idiot she is.
But now we have a fourth body, and the cuts were different. It's telling us a story. The ritual is changing. He's looking for some inspiration, and he's not finding it.
So he keeps doing it until he gets it right.
I could be wrong.
But he isn't, and Deb knows it. Then shovels a forkful of pancakes into her mouth, and after a couple of hearty chomps,
Shit, where am I?
So how the hell was your date last night?
Great. You got to try it sometime. You need a life.
I need a transfer to homicide. Then we'll see about a life.
I understand. It would certainly sound better for the kids to say, Mommy's in homicide.
Don't make me hit you.
It's a natural thought. And then we can talk about nephews and nieces. More little Morgans. Why not?
You sound like Mom.
I'm channeling her.
We'll change the channel and tell me what you know about cell crystallization.
Cell crystallization? What do you mean?
I heard the coroner say it last night. He was talking about the dead headless chick.
Deb, you got that look in your eye.
I was there before you, and I noticed the body looked different from the others. Her pieces were cold, like meat packing cold. So that's what I'm pondering. Is that what cell crystallization means?
freeze on Dexter.
My God, why didn't I think of that? It's beautiful.
Back to scene.
Dex, what are you thinking?
Dexter looks at his sister and sips some water.
Sorry, but it makes sense. Cold slows the flow of blood.
Why the hell is that important?
Just a feeling, but I think maybe he has a thing about blood.
That's not enough. Come on, I need to show LaGuerta and her boys. They're all making fun of me, bro, calling me Officer Einstein.
Why are they calling you that?
As if tits were brains.
Dexter looks at her, then after a beat, says,
Refrigerated truck.
Deb eyes him, leans in close, then says softly and slowly,
What the fuck are you talking about?
Think about it. A refrigerated truck. He wants a cold environment to slow the flow of blood. Clean and mobile, so he can dump the garbage afterwards.
So we're looking for a refrigerated truck now.
Probably a stolen one. Think, there are lots of stolen trucks out there.
You nuts? In Miami?
They break into smiles. Then Deb gets up, kisses his head,
Love you. Thanks.
and she's gone. Dexter looks around and takes out a little notepad and pen and starts writing a list. Fishing line, scalpels, saws, syringes, heavy-duty garbage bags. Smash cut to interiors Dexter apartment later. Dexter pores over blueprints that are
Is it my
clearly
turn
made
again?
of Baywater condos.
Preparation is vital. No detail can be overlooked.
Smash cut to interior large room, half-built Baywater condos, Miami, Florida. Later, Dexter staples thick sheets of plastic cover onto the windowless window frames, then mops the unfinished cement floor.
In the ritual, it's intoxicating.
Smash cut to interior large room, half-built condo. Dexter snaps a rubber sheet over a stack of sheetrock in the middle of the unfinished room, pats it down, then cuts pieces of duct tape off of a large roll and sticks them to the side of the sheetrock.
Duct tape, rubber sheets, necessary tools of the trade.
Smash cut to interior large room. He sees a roll of shrink wrap, quickly whips out his fillet knife, cuts up the shrink wrap, makes himself a mask, leaving his face pressed in and distorted. He quickly makes a small slit where his lips can be so he can breathe. He pulls it off his face, then folds it neatly.
I'm a big fan of the little things in life.
Cut to interior police headquarters, Miami, the next day. Dexter walks into the crowded main lobby, then freezes at the sight of the choir master's wife, standing in front of the desk sergeant, crying.
I don't understand. Something, please. Put out an Amber Alert. Just put his face on milk cartons. Just find my husband.
Ma'am, I understand, and we're trying. The detectives are looking into everything, and when we know,
As we pan off of the sergeant, his voice trails off. We settle on Dexter, eyeing the wife.
I'm pretty certain I made no mistakes.
Dexter turns, heads back to the briefing room, then feels a hard poke into his shoulder and stops. He spins and stares into the face of.
I saw you staring at that woman. What do you care about her?
I don't. I was just.
You like women who cry? You like that? What's your thing, psycho?
Just heading to the briefing room.
You got no call to be in there, so please.
Dexter turns, keeps walking.
Hey,
With Dokes right behind him, Dexter grabs the briefing room door, pulls it open, and we see Lieutenant LaGuerta standing right inside.
this fucking guy don't belong. I'm still waiting for a spatter report on the cokehead murders. Don't do that.
LaGuerta shoots them both a look. Dexter retreats.
It's okay. I don't want to make anyone unhappy.
Dexter turns, but LaGuerta reaches out, grabs his hand.
He can stay. I'd love your input, and we'll discuss your case after the meeting. So how about we get started?
And LaGuerta pulls him into the briefing room, police headquarters, same. The room is packed with uniformed cops, detectives. LaGuerta sashays towards the front of the room. Dexter spins away from Dokes and runs into a cop.
Hey, Dex, I got some spatter in my shorts. Want a swab?
Dexter smiles at him, looks for a seat, slides past a few more cops, then sees Deborah. Sitting alone in the back, cuts through the crowd, grabs a seat next to her, and squeezes her knee with encouragement.
You ready?
I'm gonna shame this bitch.
Just state your case. Clean and easy, and you'll be the hero.
And just then, Masuka slides into the seat next to Deb.
Wait, where are my glasses? Deb, how about I give you $100 and you let me put my head between your babaloos?
How about I stomp on your dick?
Masuka starts heaving and choking with that laugh, and Deb stares at him with a mixture of amazement and disgust. On LaGuerta at the podium.
Okay, settle down. Now, has anyone tracked down our witness?
Mumbles throughout the room, her face tense. She's pissed.
Come on, people. Someone needs to find something here.
Lieutenant LaGuerta.
Everyone turns. LaGuerta looks at Deb and rolls her eyes.
Okay, Officer Morgan, didn't recognize you with your clothes on.
Skitters all around. Deb hesitates, then faces LaGuerta.
I have an idea. Something in a different direction.
An idea? Really? Then please share it with us.
Deb stands, takes a breath, and says,
Cell crystallization?
A little louder for the people in back.
Excuse me?
On the last victim, I'd like to check and see if any refrigerated trucks have been stolen in the last week or so.
Silence. Everyone stares at Deb. Then,
Refrigerated trucks? Like ice cream trucks?
they lock eyes. It's a standoff.
She doesn't get it. None of the brickheads get it, and poor Deborah isn't making them see it.
No, not ice cream trucks. A refrigerated vehicle that could cause that kind of tissue damage. A refrigerated truck. It's mobile, so it will be harder to catch. A refrigerated truck that might give us a lead.
Everyone fidgets uncomfortably in their seats.
That's very interesting, very creative. But let's keep looking for the witness. We know he or she is out there. The forensic evidence, the interrupted cut, proves that there was an eyewitness. Someone saw something. So let's concentrate on finding that person, okay? Just keep talking to all your hookers, okay? That's all for today.
And as everyone leaves the room, Dexter looks at LaGuerta, who winks at him.
Shit.
Dexter races out of the room and down the hallway. where he grabs Deb storming away. She spins and out of frustration screams,
Damn her!
then punches Dex hard in his chest.
Oh,
Sorry.
Jesus, Deb.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. But she made me look like a fucking idiot. She's such a cock.
Cock?
You know what the fuck I mean. I mean, what the fuck was I supposed to say? I'm just there because the captain said they had to let me in.
But did he say they had to listen to you?
Right again. So say adios to my career. I'm going to die a meter maid.
There's another way. Find the fucking truck.
And just then, LaGuardia appears.
Excuse me, Dexter, my office, please.
LaGuardia turns and saunters away. Deb stares at Dex with a look of utter amazement.
What the hell was that? What the You boning her? Oh my God.
And Deb takes off.
No, Deb, no, wait.
Cut to interior LaGuardia's office, police headquarters. Dex has all of his pictures of blood-spattered hotel suites on easels, faces LaGuardia and Sergeant Dokes.
It has nothing to do with drugs.
This is a waste of a goddamn time.
I think Sergeant Dokes is right.
Dex eyes LaGuardia and Dokes, looks like he's about to pull his gun. Dex eyes him, then says evenly,
Look, I read the other reports. All the other forensic analysis, and everyone agrees. The Cokehead murders had nothing to do with cocaine. It was a crime of passion. The murderers came there to kill the woman, not the dealer. He did him quick and got him out of the way. But he sure as hell took his sweet time slicing up that lady. And you don't know that unless you have a long personal relationship with someone. Probably an ex-boyfriend. That's what I'd look for.
Okay, it's a bit of a push, but Sergeant, you should check it out anyway.
I'm watching you, motherfucker.
and as we push into Dexter's face, we hear
Yeah.
thunder, and we cut to
Watching you, motherfucker.
exterior Baywater condo development suite. Later, Dexter drives through the pouring rain, then turns onto a construction site bordering the bay, passes a damaged sign that reads Baywater Condominiums. The land has been cleared of all trees, and a series of half-built two-story condos sit abandoned in their place.
Another huge development that was going to improve all of our lives by turning trees and animals into cement and old people from New Jersey. But this place ran out of money and stalled, inert, lifeless.
Dexter stops his car behind a large pile of old brick and timber. After a beat, he slips silently out of his car, walks slowly towards the half-built condo.
Jaworski's been coming here for weeks. Likes to steal all the copper wire, copper pipe. Good money in that. No security guards, that's good.
Cut to exterior half-built condo later, second-story window POV, and through the sheets of rain we see Jaworski pull up in his pickup, get out, a large wrench in his hand. He steps through the puddles and heads into the building. Interior half-built condo, same, moving POV, and we see Jaworski slowly head up the stairs, walk down the hallway, then disappear into a second-story room. Doorway POV. We then see Jaworski struggling with a large piece of copper tubing, turning his wrench over and over until the tubing is finally freed. Sweating, Jaworski picks up the pile of tubing, cradles it in his arms, heads for the door, and as soon as he steps into the doorway, he stops, freezes, sees a picture of Jane Saunders pinned to the wall. Then a flash. Dexter, wearing a rubber apron over his clothes and his face all pressed and distorted from that shrink-wrap mask, is behind him, his fillet knife pressed into Jaworski's neck.
Don't move, motherfucker, and don't make a goddamn sound.
Hey, wait.
And with that, Dexter pulls a syringe out of his pocket, plunges the needle deep into Jaworski's neck, and Jaworski crumbles to the ground. Cut to interior large room later. Jaworski's naked body is shrink-wrapped down over a stack of sheetrock. Duct tape stretches across his mouth. Next to him is a small table covered with a gleaming, lethal set of fillet knives of various shapes and sizes. Dexter peels the mask off of his face, leans over Jaworski, and stares into his eyes.
Let's talk.
Jaworski struggles, shakes his head as Dexter rips the duct tape off of his face.
Oh, fuck.
Talk, bitch.
What? What do you mean?
I think you know what I mean.
No,
And
no.
with that, Dexter very casually and smoothly draws the scalpel across Jaworski's cheek.
Oh,
Now tell me about Jane Saunders.
Beat. Then Dexter lifts his scalpel again.
okay. I did her.
How? Jane
Beat.
Saunders.
In a movie, snuff film. But I'm not sorry.
Of course you're not. And now, I'm not sorry either, motherfucker.
And with that, Dexter lifts up his knife, and we cut to interior large room later. Dexter cleans up, wipes his knife clean, whips the rubber apron off of his body, and as he shakes his gloves off into his tote bag, he suddenly stops, looks down, reaches into his pants pocket, and pulls out his vibrating cell phone.
Hello?
Smash cut to interior Rita's house, same time. Rita has the phone pressed hard against her ear.
Where's lovely Rita?
Herbert.
Lovely Rita May.
Literally.
Fine.
Fine.
Herbert.
Well, Dex, I really
No,
need to
he's
see you. So can you,
She's on it.
can you come by tonight just for, like a little while? What are you doing now?
Dexter looks at all the white hefty bags of garbage filled with bits and pieces of Jaworski neatly stacked in a pile across the room.
Well, just finishing up a little project, but I'll try to come by later. Just keep it wet for me.
Ew.
Yeah, baby.
He hangs up. I mentally bitch slap my actor. And then he lifts a double layer slide glass of blood out of his shirt pocket, stares at it, and smiles. Cut to Dexter's Civic later. Dexter drives into the pouring rain at Boulevard.
You, Dex.
Can't be. Already know. I feel a lot better now. I always do afterwards. One less amateur film maker polluting the internet.
Then out of the corner of his eye, he sees a refrigerated truck barreling down a side street. Dexter's shocked, whips his head around.
No, it can't be.
But Dexter makes a quick U-turn, almost fishtailing, twisting and turning his head to, down the side streets as we see the truck. Speeding down one block after another, Dexter nails the gas, but his Civic struggles to keep up. The truck, now a few blocks away, makes a sharp right. Dexter follows, but the light up ahead turns red and Dexter comes to a stop. He watches the truck turn onto the causeway and disappear. Dexter waits impatiently for the light to turn. Red, 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 still red. And then finally it turns green and Dexter floors it. The Civic, screeching forward, turns down the causeway, races down the highway, and then sees the truck racing back towards Dexter, and it's getting closer, closer. Dexter turns white, then grips the wheel tighter as he gets closer to the oncoming truck. He sees the driver's arm, pops out of the driver's side window, and the driver's hand is holding something very large. The truck and the car are getting closer, closer, and right before they can collide, the truck swerves, and the driver throws a severed head right into Dexter's windshield. The glass shatters, and Dexter's horrified, slams on the brakes, and the head rolls off the hood, bounces onto the wet causeway, and starts rolling and skipping, heading towards the edge of the road and coming dangerously close to falling into the water below. Dexter jumps out of the car, races to the rolling head, catches up to it, bends down and grabs it, but the rain-soaked, bloodless head slips through his fingers and scoots away from him. Then, with a burst of energy, Dexter lunges, tackles the head like a football, and pulls it close and tight with his hands. He takes a couple of deep breaths, rises to his feet, and standing alone in the middle of the empty road, and with rain still pouring down on him, Dexter lifts the head up and looks into her eyes. Cut to Dexter's Civic later. The rain has stopped and Dexter sits on the hood of his car, watching the paramedics gently roll the head off of the causeway and onto a stretcher, then lift the stretcher and carry it into an ambulance. Dexter waves.
Bye-bye.
Dex looks across the street at Sergeant Dokes and Deborah leaning against an unmarked police car, and Deborah smiles wide, giving him a thumbs up. Just then, LaGuerta's car pulls up, headlights momentarily blinding Dexter. He shields his eyes. Then after a beat, he sees LaGuerta get out of her car and locks eyes with Deb, who smirks at her, then turns, nods to Dokes. They both get into an unmarked car and take off. LaGuerta shakes her head, slams her door shut, and walks towards Dexter.
You okay?
LaGuerta approaches. Dexter eyes her, then says wryly,
Cute.
What a way to get ahead.
Cute.
LaGuerta looks around, then takes a step towards him.
So did you see the driver of the truck?
Nope.
You sure it was a refrigerated truck, but you didn't see the driver?
Nope.
Are you sure it was a refrigerated truck?
No question.
You seem pretty certain.
She steps in even closer.
Certain is my middle name.
I like a confident man.
And she presses her tempting, elegant body against his body.
Nice job on the cokehead murders. Dokes picked up the killers. It was her boyfriend, but Dokes still hates you.
Her hand drops down, starts massaging his thigh.
How'd you get so smart, Dexter?
She runs her hands over his chest, then through his hair.
Oh, and you always wear such nice clothes.
Don't think so.
She presses harder against him, whispers seductively.
No, Lieutenant, not here.
That's right, not here, my place.
And as she leans in for a kiss, Dexter quickly turns his face away, scoots to the side, and LaGuerta falls forward, hitting the car hard.
Lieutenant, I'm so sorry.
LaGuerta rights herself, whips around, venom in her eyes.
You son of a bitch.
No, Lieutenant, please. I just had a head thrown at me, and I'm feeling a little out of sorts. And I'm feeling like my mother-in-law might be coming on to me.
They lock eyes. Dexter smiles wide and bright, and LaGuerta finally buys it and smiles back.
Where am I at?
Right here. Okay, some time.
Okay, some other time when you're less traumatized.
They lock eyes. Dexter nods, then gets into his car and drives off.
Traumatized.
I like traumatized.
Sure.
Cut
So
to
let's keep the door open.
exterior, Rita's house, Miami. Later, Dexter stands in front of Rita's door, presses the bell. Ding dong, ding dong. The door swings open, and Dexter sees Rita bundled up in her robe. After a beat,
I sent the kids next door.
Okay.
a beat,
Would you like to come in?
Okay.
and he steps interior Rita's apartment. Dexter follows Rita into the living room. She turns, faces him.
I don't want to lose you, Dex.
Okay, sure.
And I want you.
And with that, she opens her robe and shyly shows Dexter the simple but elegant nightgown she's wearing underneath.
Dex, I want to make love to you.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
And Rita reaches out, slowly pulling him close. They start to
I
kiss.
can see your
She
nipples
stops
through
and
that.
pulls back.
Don't worry, the doctors cleared up that little problem I had.
Oh, okay. That's good. No more crack house pussy.
And as they start making love and the groaning starts, we cut to interior Dexter's apartment. Later, Dexter steps inside.
Groaning.
The door.
Wow. Wow. Sex. How did that happen?
I touch.
But she seemed pleased, so I guess I didn't disappoint her.
He looks around the room. All seems fine, and he heads into the dark kitchen.
But that's because I don't care, and chances are, if you don't care about something, you'll be better at it.
He flips on the light.
Performance anxiety must be a bitch.
And then he sees a Barbie doll's head, scotch taped and hanging by its hair on the refrigerator door, and Dexter freezes, stares at the head. He's clearly tense, unnerved. Dexter slowly approaches the refrigerator, touches the Barbie head as it swings gently back and forth. He slowly opens the freezer door, and inside he finds the Barbie doll body parts, stacked neatly and tied together with little pink ribbons, just like the bloodless bodies, sans the little pink ribbons. After a beat, Dexter's body relaxes.
I said, I suppose I should be upset, even feel violated, but I'm not.
And then he notices a small vanity mirror stuck into one of the Barbies.
Jesus, what the fuck was that?
Don't know. He pulls the tiny
That was
mirror out
very
of the doll's
smelly.
hand,
Says hello.
stares into it, and then we see a little fragmented images of Dexter's face off of the mirror.
Sorry, like, I think something happened in our house. Where are we at? I want to play. I really, really do.
Line before that.
Oh, no, in fact, I think this is a friendly message. Kind of like, hey, wanna play?
Dexter puts the mirror down and closes the freezer door, and as he looks down at the little Barbie head swinging on the refrigerator door, again, we freeze on Dexter's smiling face.
And yes, I want to play. I really, really do.
And on that, we fade to black. End of pilot.
We did it!